We start recording Ikaku, and like 4 lines in, we're watching the video, and there's just one line in parentheses, and it says, "Does Lucky dance?" And the director's like, "Okay, let me show it to you. Here it is." And they roll it, and he's like jumping around. And he's singing the whole time. There's music going. I'm like, all right, I'm not seeing any of that in the script. But I see his mouth's moving. He's doing something. What do you want me to do there? And they're like, well, we heard that you were a songwriter, so we figured you would just make something up. So I was like, geez, thanks for having me. And I'm like, okay, go ahead and roll it a few times. Let me work on it. And so I was watching him, and he's, watching him go. And I was writing down the lyrics, and they're like, okay, let's try it. And we did it, and like in the first or second take, we got it. So I don't even remember because I only did it once or twice. I just remember that he said something like, who is lucky? I am lucky, not so lucky as me. That's right, I said, me. Lucky, 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 me. That's all I remember. Something like that. One more time? It's for me. I thought it was for me.
How were we introduced to voice acting? You go first.
Well, basically I was working on a video production with a friend of mine in Houston, and he said, this is about 10 years ago, and he said, hey, you've got a pretty extensive background in acting, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing like theater and stuff for most of my life. He said, you ought to go and audition for this place in town called ADV Films. They dubbed this Japanese animation into English. And I was like, you're kidding me. There's a place in Houston that does that? And he's like, yeah, they need actors. And this is back when anime was still pretty small and kind of a niche little subculture. And so I went and auditioned, and I got cast. My first role was Vega in Street Fighter 2. I know, right? And so then the next show came up. I think it was like Nadesco, Gasaraki, Generator Gall, Princess Nine, and then all of a sudden, about 6 years ago, as you guys know better than most, anime just exploded. It was everywhere, and I was just really, really blessed. I mean, I was very fortunate to, very grateful to God for the chance to have gotten in on it.